First, how are you all doing? Great. Wonderful. So good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right. Many years ago, I heard there was a line in a song that I did not understand, but today I do understand it. The line said, "And if you asked the reason for their shouting, you will never understand. But today, if you ask me for the reason for our celebration, I do understand." I understand. We're celebrating the 25 years since the Tompkins County Public Library opened its door in this, what we now call this facility. We still call it a new facility, which officially opened on Monday, November 20th, to the year 2000. You remember that year, the Y2K? Instead of being panicked, we opened this site. And it was formerly a Woolworth departmental store, for those of you who've been in Ithaca or Tompkins County for a longer while. And there is an amazing display of the history of, that is here, and it's to your right. So if you, which is to my left, you will see a display of the history and how we got here. I want to quickly start with the most important thing, which is thanks, gratitude. I want to be thankful of the community in which we live and the support that we have got through this community to have this gem that is a city that is set on a hill if you come to Tompkins County, this public library. I want to say thank you to the Friends of the Tompkins Public Library for its long-standing support and for funding this 25th year anniversary. The program is so could we just give a quick shout out to thank you. The Tompkins County Legislature, and I think I see my good friend Michael Lane here, and Dan is here, and so is Region, but other members or former members of the county legislature, if you're here, could you just raise up your hand because we do want to acknowledge you. Thank you so much. You know that in addition to being the library's primary funding partner, the county also had the foresight to purchase the Cornell Library Association and transform it into what we now call the County Public Library, the Tompkins County Public Library. That happened in 1967. And then construct the old library on North Cayuga Street before purchasing the Woolworth to convert it into the current library that we see now. We also, and the county continues to own and maintain this library. For that, we're very thankful. Please convey our thanks to the legislature. We want to also thank the Ithaca Common Council and the Ithaca Town Board for their historic financial support. I also want to, I think some members are here, the CRN event for helping to plan today's celebration. Thank you. Yes. Wegmans for helping supply refreshment, along with K. Sarah, and the Via's cookies. I haven't tasted it, but I think those of you who have, you can testify. So thank you. And then, of course, the Tompkins County Public Library Foundation for its support and for the logistical help planning today's celebration. I also want to give a shout out to the Finger Lakes Library Systems. And I don't know if any of the members are here today, but thank you. I want to thank the volunteers, staff, past and present, and those who have served on the board in one capacity or the other. And above all, those who are patrons. Thank you very much. I am going to welcome a dear friend who's going to start a series of talks and reminiscence. You're going to reminisce on some of the things that have happened in this very hallowed space, the most democratic of spaces. And I can talk about, Susan Currie from my sleep. I don't have to look at a script. I can talk about her with so much affection, appreciation, respect, and the joy that it has been to know and work with her. She led the library for a decade, combined between 3 stints Three, we'll leave it at three, okay. And it was actually served as a director when I was on the board from 2009 to 2017, then serving again in 2021, and not too long ago, just this past few months, retiring in October. And the word they say, again, retiring again. So she oversaw the 21st Century Library campaign, which led to the Edward J. Smith Teen Center, if you've been here, the Digital Lab, Makerspace, and Local History Room, which you were part of. I was on the board when, under your leadership, we closed the budget gap in the lean years that we faced after 2008. And I just told you, I accuse you today of being the Joseph of our time. You remember in the library, Joseph helped to manage the farming for 7 years. And you reopened the Howard P. Hannett circulation desk and restored the volunteer program during your most recent tenure. You served on the county's legislature from January 2023 to March 2025. So it's my honor to welcome you and to thank you. So, Susan, I don't want to make you cry. Come over and talk to us. Okay.
Thank you so much, Aloja. Can you hear me? Well, good afternoon and welcome. It's wonderful to see you. I think this might need to be turned up a little. I have a soft voice. Can you hear me now? Great. And I'll try to talk a little louder. I have a very soft voice. Well, thank you. That was lovely. Aloja was the most amazing board president, and it was wonderful to work with him. I also wanted to thank everyone who is here this afternoon and to say thank you to the Friends of the Tompkins County Public Library who do an amazing job of supporting the library. Not only this event, but the collection and a lot of programs and scholarships for people who want to be librarians. I want to thank the county, the city and the town of Ithaca, and the foundation as well. All of these organizations together help us to create an amazing library to offer to the community. Thank you to all the officials from the city, the town, the county. I know how hard you all work. I know, having been on the legislature, I know how much it is, how hard it is, especially during budgeting time. So, and I also want to thank all of the current and former trustees. It is a big responsibility, it's a lot of work, and I very much appreciate all of the time that you put in. It's difficult for me to believe that it's been 25 years since the county purchased the old Woolworths building. I'm pretty sure I have stuff in my basement from that Woolworths. I want to give a quick shout out to Janet Steiner, who was the library director of the Cougar Street Library, who led the charge to move the library to this location. Sadly, Janet is no longer with us, but I know that she would be thrilled and so happy with this event. I also see some people who were a part of our 21st Century campaign, and that's wonderful, so thank you. So I'm old. I've been a librarian for 45 years. I started when I was 15. Kidding. I have loved every single position as a librarian in all kinds of libraries. But being the director of Tompkins County Public Library turned out to be my dream job, several times as it turns out. And each time has been a lesson in the importance, the value, and the joy of our library. What I love most about libraries is that they are places of quiet rebellion. I know that the general notion of libraries is one of quiet, but our library, and really all libraries, are beehives of activity. Applying for jobs online, checking out a metal detector from the Library of Things, learning about gaming, learning a new language, book clubs, online databases, music, movies. The learning and discovery goes on and on and on. Who couldn't see this as a dream job? This is a place where works of literature are written and where a child discovers stories of wonder and adventure, or, one of my favorite programs, they can read to very attentive dogs. I think of libraries as a living form of justice. I know that in the past, perhaps sometimes they weren't always, but libraries are institutions that grow and learn along with society, and they evolve as knowledge evolves. I want you to think for a minute. There are very few places where the entirety of the public is invited, a place where there's no pressure to purchase anything, a place not only of knowledge, but of respite. A public library requires nothing from visitors. Libraries are a collective good. They provide spaces where anyone can just exist. There's no membership fee, there's no dress code, except for shoes, no time limits. You don't need money to access numerous on-site resources that includes reading in all formats, computer stations, and Wi-Fi. I have often said, and I will say again, public libraries are an efficient, cooperative purchasing system. They ensure equal access to information in all formats. And through our funding from the county, city, town, along with the Friends, the Foundation, and the Finger Lakes Library System, we serve more than 330,000 residents in 5 counties. That's something to celebrate. In closing, I want to thank everyone here. I want to give out a special thank you to the library staff. The library staff here, no matter what is happening, always put service to the public first. They're incredibly dedicated. They work hard every day, and I hope that it's a dream job for them as it has been for me. I want to share a quote with you from an author who's of my generation, Keith Richards of the Rolling Stone. In his memoir, he wrote, "When you're growing up, there are 2 institutional places that affect you most powerfully: the church, which belongs to God, and the public library, which belongs to you." The public library is a great equalizer, and this library is your library. Thank you for helping us to celebrate it and to create so many memories.
Thank you, Susan. I'm going to try and talk a little bit quietly because I'm a lion. I usually roar, so you don't have to turn it down. So I'll try and adjust my voice. Just to let every one of us know that in a gathering like this, it's almost impossible to be able to thank every group, organization that have helped to make us what we are. So if we, for any reason, forget to mention any entity, please be generous to forgive us. But your work and your contributions have not been undervalued. At this point, I would like to invite the Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs at Ithaca College, Melanie Stein, who has served as Provost since August 2021, first as an intern before being permanently confirmed in that position in 2022. Ithaca College volunteers are throughout the crowd today. Are there some Ithaca College volunteers here in our midst? Can you just raise up your hand for acknowledgement? Thank you. And as part of the college's service Saturdays program, Ithaca College also helps with the serve on the Graphic Novel Advisory Board, which plays a key role in the annual Eisner Week celebration for graphic novels. So I would like to invite at this time Melanie to give your speech. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aloja. And can people hear me? I also have a quiet voice. Good afternoon. So I actually grew up in Ithaca, born and raised, and now I've returned as the Provost at Ithaca College. Just as the college library is the heart of any college or university. The public library is the heart of any community. And today, I am thrilled to be here with you celebrating 25 years of the Tompkins County Public Library in this home on Green Street. So, as a native Ithacan, the library featured prominently in my childhood and early adulthood. I grew up in a home which considered books central to life itself, and the public library a resource to be used and treasured. Saturday library visits were a really important family ritual. You were allowed 4 books. My first visits to our local library took place on West State Street in the old Sons of Italy building, now the Kitchen Theater. So I have memories of that space. It was cramped and it was crowded. It was full of treasures, but there was no space to linger. As soon as you checked out your books, you waited outside for your ride home. So how well I remember the excitement of the brand new Cayuga Street building, the Tompkins County Public Library, with all of its space, not only for the growing collection, but also to welcome in the community to gather. I remember my own first solo visits using the city bus for transportation, and all that space to hang out and read. So after college, I ended up returning to Ithaca and became a mom here. So once again, this library was critical to my family. I have so many memories of bringing my young children to the Cayuga Street Library, of toddler story hours and summer reading challenges. Now, my family left town at that point, when Tompkins County Public Library was still quite comfortable in Cayuga Street. So, when I heard about the plan to move, I heard that from afar. Now, I also have lots of childhood memories of this spot that we're in now. I remember those aisles of Woolworths with all of their wonders, the lunch counter, the bus stop, after it moved from Rothschild's when State Street got closed off. So when my mom told me they were transforming the old Woolworths building into a new library, well, I was a little bit dubious, to say the least. Until I saw it, and I saw that my mom was right. This was the perfect spot. What a transformation, and a beautifully designed home for the heart of this community. Now, as I've shared, I have strong feelings and connections to the Tompkins County Public Library, but public libraries beyond this have always served as anchors to me as I have moved from city to city throughout my life. And although I've always been connected to institutions of higher education with fabulous libraries, which I have used, public libraries have always been critical for my happiness. So in my first year of college, one of the first things I did was to venture off campus and get a public library card. For me, the local public library was a place to immerse myself in the community, away from the stress of college, a place where people of all ages and walks of life gathered. I would study or just read in the public library when I needed to feel a part of the whole community as opposed to the campus bubble, despite the fact that my college had probably the finest college library system in the world. With every subsequent move to a new city, the library has always been a first stop for me. I always need to get that library card to start putting down roots. And now, in my current role, I've seen just how important a resource the library is for the Ithaca College community. Our faculty and staff are patrons and engaged in a whole variety of other ways. Our students, as Aloja was referencing, engage through volunteering or curricular and co-curricular connections. And undoubtedly, for some, it is a refuge and connection to this community, just as my local library was for me in college. So on behalf of Ithaca College, and also myself as an Ithaca native, I want to congratulate all of you who have cared for and supported this library, now at this 25th anniversary of the Green Street home. And I am really heartened to know that this library will continue to serve the entire Tompkins County community for many years to come. Thank you so much for having me here.
Well, Melanie, I didn't know that part of your story. And that's very encouraging because as I see the children of some of our friends, our children, can you hear me? You can hear me? Yes. So, is it too loud? It's okay? All right, thank you. That's encouraging because I'm seeing Desi, I'm seeing Alma, children of our friends who are here now, and I'm thinking in 25 years, maybe in 50 years, they will be telling the story you have just told. So that is, if you want to make sure you are always remembered, leave something behind. And that leads me to our next speaker. You know, the founder of this library was Ezra Cornell, or is Ezra Cornell, because he is here today. Ezra Cornell has been is a genius because he's been able to remain alive after these many years. His great, how many times did I say great? 3 times. His great grandson is here. He is the longest serving trustee of Cornell University, having joined the board at the age of 21. You know, Cornell plays a large role in Tompkins County Public Library. We have a great relationship with Cornell University, providing funding for, library by mail, as well as Hoopla, through grants to the Tompkins County Public Library Foundation. So Cornell University also partners with this library for programs ranging from the popular annual tax preparation service to the Sit, Stay, Read, and collaborations with Girls Who Code. Some of you may have profited from that. So it's my honor to welcome our founder's great grandson to speak to us briefly.
I cannot roar like a lion. Well, thank you for inviting me and to say a few words. And a special thanks I have to do what you did. I want to thank everybody who has helped sustain this library from when it began many years ago. And I'm going to just name a few people. Got to start out with Susan Currie, but also Kate Savage, hiding over in the side there. Leslie Tabor, Carrie Barnes, Kathy Weinberg, Linda Bartnick, and a shout out to just a handful of others: Laura, Beth, Emily, Renee, Carrie, Sarah, Christina, Shelley, Nina, Liz, and Daryl, and so many other volunteers for not just the past 25 years at this location, but for keeping the library strong for many years to come. And I proudly recall my own son having volunteered here quite a few years ago. I first spoke to this library audience in 1966. Some of you weren't born then. I was a freshman at Cornell. I was honored to be asked to be present and also very nervous, as I had never done any public speaking whatsoever. A distinguished professor of history followed my brief remarks, who I erroneously introduced as Bishop Morris, who in fact was the very well-known university professor and author Morris Bishop. Despite the surname snafu, I eventually became friends with Morris and his lovely wife, artist Allison Kingsbury. This is a thriving celebration. I walked in here tonight and it was just alive. It was the beehive that you spoke of. Here we are a quarter of a century later. The historic and present ties with the university have proudly endured And I bring greetings and congratulations from our board chair, Ann Meinig Smalling. Spoke to her yesterday. My role today is to primarily remind us how we got here in a small way, and I will do my best. You know that in 1866, the founder of the university, my it's three greats, grandfather, Ezra, presented the first public library to the city and the county, the Cornell Public Library. He began the project in 1863, 2 years before founding the university. The library building, constructed on the southeast corner of Tioga and Seneca Streets, was the founder's first commitment to philanthropy, after having made a fortune establishing the Western Union Telegraph Company. As author Philip Dorff described in his biography of Ezra, the builder, Cornell, as a carpenter, mechanic, and early American philanthropist, was a man of simple tastes. Dorff wrote, and I quote, "Cornell doubted whether it would benefit his children to lavish upon them an excess of money which they had not earned, nor did he think it was the right thing to do." Ezra Cornell had an enormous respect for books. Dating to his childhood, he cherished them. As Corey Earle pointed out at the library's 150th celebration in 2016, Ezra kept the first book he ever owned, which was the Memoirs of Andrew Jackson. Ezra's mother purchased the book from a peddler when the family lived in DeRuyter, New York. Ezra begged his mother to buy the book, but they were dirt poor, so she gathered rags enough to trade in an exchange. In the 1850s, before building the Cornell Public Library, Ezra had helped organize an agricultural reading room in Ithaca of the local Farmers Club, personally donating books and subscribing to journals. By building and gifting this library, as well as personally contributing 3,000 volumes at its opening and pledging to contribute thousands more, Ezra emphasized the importance of making knowledge widely accessible. As our friends and local historian Carol Kamen described at the 150th celebration, Ezra's self-proclaimed goal was, quote, "to make knowledge available to everyone, even the poor boys." Why girls and women weren't mentioned, I don't know. I'm not responsible. Francis Finch, a local lawyer and Ezra's friend who helped draw up the library's charter, was quoted at its opening saying, "It belongs to all. Let that be remembered, not to a chosen few to monopolize its benefits, not to a narrow circle to frown on all of the rest, but to all, to everyone and every other." Ezra remained true and firm in his values and beliefs that if citizens were to be successful and responsible to themselves and their nation, then education needed to be accessible to all. Ezra's concept of philanthropy was that there was no benefit to inherited wealth, but his idea was more than simply giving money away. He believed in the freedom to be responsible for the wealth he created, and his right to personally pursue his goals of how it could be used to help do the greatest good. Fortunately, this idea caught on and became a goal for others. Andrew Carnegie made his fortune taking risks in building railroads and steel production. He served on the Cornell Board of Trustees from 1890 to 1919. And although it was doubtful that they ever met, he was likely inspired by Ezra Cornell's gift of the public library. Ezra Cornell decided, and this is a quote by Carnegie, Ezra Cornell decided upon establishing a free public library as the best gift that can be bestowed upon a community, Carnegie once remarked. About him adding, "I shall not be expected to disagree with him on this point. Both men earned their wealth and were driven to succeed." Beginning in 1889 until he left the Cornell Board, Carnegie built 1,689 libraries in the United States, and in many more years for a total of 2,509 libraries worldwide. Additionally, Andrew D. White, the eventual co-founder and first president of the university, began serving in the New York State Senate in the 1860s, he initially sought out Cornell, then a fellow New York State Senator, because White had been so impressed with Ezra's library as an extraordinary gift to the community. The long-lasting and multi-generational ties between this library and the university continue now. The celebration of the library's 150th was excellent, memorable, and next year will mark the 160th. Hopefully there will always be a free public library in the city of Ithaca, Tompkins County, New York, as well as free public libraries throughout our nation. Our citizens need access to information and knowledge that is helpful to their ongoing, lifelong education as Americans who can be responsible for their actions and including safeguarding the nation and its ideals. We know in these challenging days that freedom is not free. Libraries and their treasures of material, knowledge, and facts keep us a free people. In the library is where people can learn that hard work and take understandable risks can bring success as it did for Carnegie and Cornell. I hate to say the word, but extremists will likely continue to spread propaganda and emphasize short-sighted, morally questionable ideas of immediate gratification versus hard work, pride in one's accomplishments, and in doing the right things now and always. Public libraries deserve to be supported and sustained as they contain the treasures of discoverable ideas and facts. Libraries remain one of the only places to find and seek the truth. To preserve America and Ithaca, support and preserve Tompkins County Public Library.
Thank you so much, Ezra, and please convey our gratitude to the rest of the Cornell family. And on the day of resurrection, when I see your great-great-great-grandfather, I will tell him thank you myself. So that's a promise. I want to invite a good friend of mine who's representing the county legislature to do a recognition for the public libraries. It's a pleasure to have you up.
Good afternoon. All right. This is a fun day, and I feel very privileged to be able to talk with you for a few minutes. I am the liaison from the Tompkins County Legislature to the Tompkins County Public Library Board, and that's why I'm standing in front of you. And we were fortunate to do a proclamation at our meeting on Thursday, and I'm here to read it to you today. But before I get there, I do want to mention I had a library card at the West State Street. That was my first experience at the public library, was there. And I'd also mention I bought a television over here. but I can go into that in more detail another time. This is recognition of the Tompkins County Public Library celebrating 25 years at its current location. Whereas the Tompkins County Public Library has achieved many milestones during its history, including 1864, the New York State Legislature chartered the Cornell Free Library, founded by Ezra Cornell. 1868, the first meeting of the Cornell University faculty took place in the library's lecture hall. 1928, bookmobile service started to serve rural areas of the county. 1947, the Friends of the Library organization was formed and held its first book sale. 1958, the Finger Lakes Library System was formed with its headquarters in the library building. 1967, the library became the official county library, and the county funded construction of a new building at 312 North Cayuga Street. 1982, Tompkins County Public Library became the first library in New York State to use a computerized catalog system. 1998, the Tompkins County Board of Representatives passed Resolution 1998-233, authorizing the purchase and renovation of the Woolworths building to accommodate the needs of the library for the next 20 years. And whereas the library moved to its current location in November 2000, and whereas to this day the Tompkins County Public Library continues to play an essential and evolving role in the life of our residents, attracting more than 175,000 in-person visits last year and more than 420,000 visits to their website. Therefore, be it resolved on this 25th anniversary of the library operating at its current location on Green Street, the Tompkins County Legislature recognizes and celebrates the Tompkins County Public Library. And I would ask our interim director to come forward.
Rich, throw this up here.
Yes.
All right.
There.
All right.
Thank you.
Is anyone taking a picture? Great. Thank you so much. Okay, hi. Hello, everyone. I'm also a lion. Is this too loud? Do I need to bring it down a bit? Is this great? Awesome. Yes, my name is Kat Savage. I am the interim library director until I am not anymore, so blink and you'll miss me. I am also the permanent youth services department head, a job that I love and adore and I'm eager to get back to. I want to do a really quick shout out for the youth services team. A lot of them are here today, and to the whole team, really. So the staff of Tompkins County Public Library works incredibly hard day in and day out, and I want to take a moment just to thank them, and a few more thanks just so we know that we've hit everybody, although thank you to Aloja, who spoke so beautifully and thanked, I think, everyone already, but at the risk of missing anyone, thank you so much also to Susan Currie, who is right here, who saw us through the summer and many other times in the past. So thank you, Susan. I want to extend gratitude to the county legislature, of course, not only for this, but for all of their support. I also want to thank the city and town of Ithaca for their support over the years as well. The mayor's office, of course. Our dear friends, the Friends of the Tompkins County Public Library, who just had one of their best sales ever, and of course, all of that supports our collection. All of it supports a lot of initiatives in Tompkins County, not just this central library here, but other Tompkins County Public Library and staff as well, and community projects. They do great work. I also want to thank the TCPL Foundation. Carrie Barnes and Susanna Durbel are a two-person team who just make a lot of magic happen. I want to, of course, thank the Ithaca College volunteers. Volunteering is really wonderful, and we really appreciate them to make this event, this birthday party, a lot of fun. So, without further ado, well, actually, no, I have a little bit ado to do. So, over the summer, I was a little preoccupied because the summer reading program was happening, but at the same time as the summer reading program, we were holding a card design contest. And this was open to anyone in Tompkins County. So folks came in, they submitted beautiful designs. We got over 100 submissions of original art made by our community members. And we also were able to narrow those down. The community voted on the finalists, and we are able now to honor the beautiful work of our local artists, Lily and Claire. Lily is a teen designer, and she created, when So youth services staff saw her drawing it, and we were all like, this is amazing, it's gonna win. So we were really excited about that. And Claire's artwork is really, really beautiful as well, so I'm so excited to see that, and that was our adult entry. You can get, after I finish speaking, you can swap out your library card. If you don't have a library card, we will make you one, so you can have one of these new beautiful designs. And you know what? I think we need to see them. Sam? So, for those of you paying attention, we've been saying that Ezra Cornell is here, and also Ezra Cornell is here. So, there you go. Thank you all for saying, and thank you again, everyone who spoke. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As I'm just coming back from a library conference today, we are here in it forever. Librarians love what they do. Library workers love what they do. We are here to be your library, not just for the next 25 years, the next 1,025 years. So that's all I got. Thank you. So don't go anywhere. Hold on.
I feel like I don't want to follow whatever's happening over here. This is amazing. Hi, before everyone goes, hi. My name is Mary Holland-Davis. I am here on behalf of Assemblymember Anna Kellis. I serve as her chief of staff, and just like Legislator John did, we have a citation to present on behalf of the New York State Assembly, so I can just read it briefly. So, whereas the Tompkins County Public Library, the first public library in Ithaca, was founded by Ezra Cornell and chartered by the New York State Legislature in 1864. Hi, honey. Hi. Yeah. I promise you will get your 10 gummy bears. I promise. In 1969, it was moved to a new building on Cayuga Street. But then, hi, honey. I will be. You're hungry? Okay. Give me 1 second. But then, outgrowing this space by the 1990s, it embarked on a new chapter. Being a mom of young kids is really easy. In November 2000, moving with great fanfare and marked with a parade into the former Woolworth's department store on East Green Street, thereby doubling its size and creating a modern, expanded facility that serves as a hub for learning, technology, and community gathering and access to information, now continuing to serve the residents of Tompkins County and beyond, offering free and equitable access to a wide range of resources and programs for people of all ages, backgrounds, and abilities. This is why libraries are amazing. Whereas the Tompkins County Public Library is today holding an open house celebrating the 25th anniversary of this historic move, supported by the Friends of the Tompkins County Public Library and showcasing the library's evolving role in the community from its historic roots to its current status as a vibrant civic, educational, and cultural institution. Now therefore be it resolved that the New York State Assembly, by its member, the Honorable Assemblymember Anna Kellis, does hereby recognize the Tompkins County Public Library as an outstanding public facility worthy of the esteem of the entire community and the great state of New York. Thank you.
Libraries are really for everybody, so thank you so much. Thank you, Assemblymember Kellis. And hooray, now you're free. Please go get hot cocoa, cider, treats. I'm sure they're still all in the Borg Warner room. And if you haven't already gotten your library card, go get it.